Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again. Today we are for a Kamen Rider Gotchard episode 40 review, and this episode was a rather interesting one. We got introduced to two new enemies in this episode, introduced to a new type of enemy in this episode, and we got some very big lore bits all thrown in there. We got some family squabbles going on as a B plot. We got another B plot as well, and man, just we learned some things about what Nijigon is, and the Philosopher's Stone was brought up in this because all alchemy has to do with Philosopher's Stone, because I used to study alchemy. So the Philosopher's Stone is a real thing. It is a big pivotal thing when it comes down to the studies of alchemy. But yeah, we got introduced to two new enemies in this episode, which is Germain and Gaelia. And bro's name is Germain. Is it Germain or Germain? Because sometimes a G and a J can make the same sound or two different sounds depending on the word. So I'm just gonna say Germain for right now until someone says otherwise. But other than that, Germain seems like he was the main one that we were taking out in this episode, and we find out him and Gaelia are also Abyssal Kings. They share that title with Gigist, and it seems like they might be stronger than him. Seems like it. And we find out that Germain ate Griad. Wow. But yeah, so when they do show up, they do end up bringing Gigist back to life technically, but he wasn't dead after fighting Ichinose. So yeah, he comes back, and when he sees them, he is shook. Like he's kind of, it's like fear. It's like he's quivering with it, because it's like this was the big bad. Gigist was the big bad end all be all villain that we had right here, and this, when he sees the other two, he's like shook. He's like it's like he's afraid, and I'm just like, bro, like this was the guy we were having problems with for the last like 4 episodes and causing all kinds of despair and everything. And then when you see, I'm just saying, those his brother and sister. When you see your brother and sister, you're shook. And it really surprised me. I'm like, why is Gigist acting like this? Like, is he like it? Is he like the youngest out of all of them or something? Because it's weird. It was so weird seeing him act that way. From just seeing, and they bully him. They really like Germain mostly, but they bully him, and he just kind of like follows them, I guess. And plus, they're also Abyssal Kings. They share the title with him, like I said before. But man, that really surprised me from his reaction and how Germain treated him throughout the episode. It was jarring. I was like, yo, what? Like, but yeah. So we see that even Clucto tries to fight one of them, and Germain ends up powering her up again and giving her, she calls it Abyss Gear now, where she transforms, called the Abyss Gear. And when she transforms now, it goes from how Gigist made her to now she has like hair, like her hair just comes out and just is all long and messy, like she's a little stronger. And I'm just like, yo, like what's happening? Even Autotrope, she was asking, hey, can you bring Grion back to life? It turns out Grion himself was a doll. Grion himself was technically a homunculus, and that claw that comes down and grabs him out of the Ouroboros portal, that wasn't Gigist, that was Germain. and he says that, hey, he says, sorry about your dad, but I ate him and he was delicious. And I'm just like, my God, like bro was just taught. It's like you off someone's dad, and then you go to his kids and tell them that you did it, while also telling them how much you enjoyed it. And that's basically what bro did, and it shook me. It was like, oh, he gotta go. Germain gotta go. Forget Gigist. he been bullied. He been B-worded out right now. Jermaine gotta go. Okay. But yeah, so he tells them that, and they're, Autotropes is just like, she ain't having it. She want her daddy back. It's just a little girl want her daddy, little girl that miss her daddy, man. And Cluto is on this big giant tirade to get Laculus back, because she fights Laculus in this episode and trying to force her to come back to them and just bring up the whole concept of family and stuff now. And Laculus ain't having it. Laculus is like literally says, I'm gone and I ain't coming back. Cause it's like, I don't want to go over there. I like being over here. It was just a lot. Like, the bad guys, and they got these inner family squabbles, and then the older brother and the big sister just like out here like, yeah, we love, like Jermaine's like, I love humans. I love them so much. I want to destroy them. I want to lead them on the right path. And I was just like, what? But also, I did love the reintroduction to Renee's dad, and they talk about how he was on a slow he's been in this like real slow recovery, after being in the fight with the Abyssal Sisters. So all the other hymns that we've seen walking around had just been body doubles, like made from alchemy. And we saw that Cluto went and she found him, destroyed his body double, and then she fought him and he transformed, and then that's when everybody came to save him. And I'm just like, okay. Then he also reveals that Nichikon is basically like a vessel for the Philosopher's Stone, but Ichinose was also a vessel for Nichikon. And basically he was like, Nichikon was basically like there to basically like, he was a vessel for the Philosopher's Stone shards to put the Philosopher's Stone back together, but he was also inside of Ichi. But then when that didn't work, he ended up getting put inside of the driver, which also ends up getting put inside of Ichinose. So that's the best way I can explain it. That's what I got from the episode. And we have to protect Nijikun at all costs, because he is a piece of the Abyssal King's power, original power. So he has a piece of it within him, so we have to protect Nijikun at all costs. And they basically we see Aride's dad goes with Minato and basically going off to rest and stuff like that, because he got beat up badly from fighting Cluto, and most likely he's not going to be around for a second, since he's going to be resting and he's been beat up so bad. But man, there's a lot going on in this episode. It was a lot going on, and we got to see Rene talk to Autotropes after Autotropes called her there, and Autotropes tells her that, hey, like, I want to bring my dad back, and when I bring my dad back, maybe it'll give me a chance to finally change. And Rene's like, okay, I'll help you, but when all this is over, you can never hurt a human. You can never hurt anyone ever again. And Autotropes they pinky promise, which is one of the most powerful promises that you could do. You never break a pinky promise. That's it. You don't ever. We ain't friends no more if you ever break that. But yeah, so they promised to do that. So, and we got the fight with Laculus and Cluto, and Cluto is trying to force Laculus to come back with him, but then Laculus is like, no, I'm not coming back to you. And then that's when Spanner comes and saves her, and he starts fighting Cluto, and then he gets knocked out. And I'm just like, bro, you can't. Dang it, Spanner, you came back and did nothing. And he basically told Laculus, hey, don't get me wrong, I'm not saving you, I'm just trying to make sure Kyoto's research is still intact. So he came there just to make sure the sword doesn't get messed up. I'm like, bro. But yeah, like, Then Ichinose wakes up and he sees that Nichikon is gone. Nichikun is gone. He's looking for Nichikun. We get a gag that his mom probably cooked Nichikun, but Nichikun is gone, and then he runs into this warehouse, and then that's when Rene meets up with him. She's like, "Is it true that Nichikun's gone?" She's like, "Yeah." So they end up in this warehouse, and then that's when Jermaine Dupri, Jermaine shows up, and he's like, "Hey, did y'all say that he was gone?" I guess I guess I can go ahead and get rid of you two, and then once I get rid of you, I can find him more easily because he'll come to you guys, whatever. So they end up fighting Jermaine's golem. They're able to make these golems that are very powerful, by the way. Like, they look cool too, but these guys are very powerful. They can barely do a scratch on this guy. We see that Ichinose transforms into Platinum Gotchard. Thank God. I was so hoping that he was about to go base Gotchard for some reason. There was unnecessary reason when you turn into your base form. No, man. Or some other form. No, he went straight second. He went straight Platinum Gotchard because he can't go Rainbow right now. So yes, that's the second. That's basically the next best thing right now. And he's throwing everything at this freaking golem, and it's not working. It's not working. It's not doing. They're even playing the theme song in the back. Like, this isn't working. So he's doing all his combo attacks and everything. It isn't working. And then that's when Jermaine pops up and he powers up the golem, and they do a combo attack together and knocking out Ichinose and Rine. And that episode ends off right there. And I'm just like, yeah, we're in quite the bind. We need to go ahead and find Nichiko because he is our best bet right now. Because everybody else right now is getting their butts kicked, and it seems like we're gonna have we gonna do some power ups. Oh yeah, also we talked about how the association, they want them to basically give them all the Kimmies now, and like Spanner, he's agreeing with it because we can't just we can't just have Kimmies all out willy-nilly all around the city and whatnot, because it's not like humans are just going to accept them as normal. And like Ichinose, his good guy whole act thing, he's like, yeah, he's a yeah, but it can happen. We can make it happen, stuff like that. And he's like, nah, it's too, like, all Kimmies are made to do is fight. And that's what Spanner just leaves. So it's just like, man, I mean, I guess that may have been their original function, because Jermaine and Gigas basically said it, that Kimmies were created. Kimmy's next evolution is amalgam. Same thing with humans. I don't know why he threw that in there, but yeah, same thing with Kimmies. Like, their next evolution is supposed to be amalgam, so they're supposed to turn into these freaking raging monsters, which is still like weird. I mean, it ain't weird because we know that the Abyssal Kings, they created all Kimmies and things like that. So I mean, I guess it makes sense that's their end goal when it comes down to Kimmies. But it's still sad. It's still dumb. And I don't like it. But yeah, man, like, this episode was scary to me because the way these Abyssal people look, they got hands everywhere. Like, Jermaine, they don't have faces. Like, Jermaine and Gialia, like, they're just, I'm scared. I think I'm gonna be scared of her more though, because she just seems like she don't give a duck. I don't know, but man, this episode was, I like this episode. Good bad guys won in this. We'll get part 2 tomorrow, next week, this week. But man, this episode was a lot. And we got, and like our homegirl said, we got a bunch of loose ends to tie up. So yeah, but other than that, man, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of Kamen Gotchard, episode 40. What you guys think about, Gigas being shook when he sees his brother and sister? How do you guys feel about finding out that Grion was also a doll / homunculus? How do you guys feel about the whole Philosopher's Stone being brought into the equation now? Like, I feel like that was coming. It's alchemy. So the Philosopher's Stone gonna get thrown in there somewhere. I just never thought about it in these moments, but yeah, it makes sense for a Philosopher's Stone to be mentioned. But yeah, guys, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As remember, as I always say, stay henshin.